Hey guys, Shelly Price here, and this is my review for One Piece episode 795, A Giant Ambition, Big Mom, and Caesar Clan. I hope I wrote that down right, because I was like scribbling stuff as I was going. But yeah, so just like a general overall, I thought it was, a pretty good episode. Uh, just as like a side note, while I was watching the episode, like I just got home from work. And I started getting like phone calls about a whole bunch of issues that were happening off at work, so I was slightly ticked off. So part of me feels like, had I not been interrupted with a bunch of stuff, this I probably would have enjoyed the episode a little bit better, because it was a good one. I think I feel like, for the most part, like I enjoyed it. So we start off with where we left off previous episode, with everyone seeing in a paper that they're talking about Jinbei. So we've realized that from him talking to Big Mom, a full day has passed. Like, this just happened yesterday. So essentially, Big Mom had her giant wheel and was like, okay, if you're leaving, then you gotta lose something or something along those lines. And we find out that Jinbei was like, I'm gonna stop. Like, let's not. So he backs out of it. And everyone's like, oh, like, I lost respect for him. How could he do this? And that's when you see Pedro and Brooke. And we end up getting, like, Brooke's like, oh, Jinbei's here, because they're reading the newspaper too. And we get a little bit of a flashback from Fishman Island, when essentially Luffy asked Jinbei to join the crew. And he's like, I have some stuff I gotta handle first, but, I'll come find you guys later. And if you still want me, you can ask me, after I've settled this stuff. So it's nice. I know some people don't like them because it takes up time, but I always enjoy flashbacks. I'm the kind of, like, I don't know, like, flashbacks don't bother me like that. They don't bother me, so I like them. And then they see, like, as they're in the Sweet City, they see Pudding, and she's inside the dress shop, and everyone's, like, putting all these dresses up next to her, like, can you wear this? Can you wear this? Can we just say something? I just feel like you probably should have already got your dress by now. That's just me. I don't know how things work in the One Piece universe. But I just expect, like, how do you not have your dress already for your wedding? And I also forget how much time is in between now and the actual tea party ceremony. But I don't think it's that much. I could be mistaken, though. But that was just, like, a note that I was just like, you're getting your dress? And then we get to see Baron Tamago again, who we haven't seen for a while. And we come to find out that, or Brooke and Pedro come to find out, they knew everything. They know about the ship. They knew Peckham's was on the ship. They know about, they said, like, Luffy, Chopper, Nami, and they have their wanted posters, and then they got Carrots, like a little scribbling of her, saying, like, they're going to be caught by now, and now we're just looking for these other two, which is, like, Pedro and Brooke. And I always forget that Brooke's new wanted poster is his flyer from his concerts. I always forget that. I love that. So, like, essentially they knew everything. They're saying that Luffy and them got caught, and that, they're on their way through the city, and they're looking for them. I love Pedro and Brooke's face, because they're just like, what? Like, what? Like, they knew all of this? Everything? Like, we weren't being sneaky at all? And you just see, like, they're like, how did they know this? And you just see, like, the little flowers. They kind of zoom in, or they focus in kind of on the flowers. They were just essentially, like, watching everything. I thought that was a really funny moment. And then we also know that Baron Tamago and Pedro have history, because he says, that's not a lion mink or a cheetah mink or something like that, whatever it was, or like, he's a jaguar mink. And he's like, so he's alive. Okay. And we already knew, like, when Pedro got here, like, that person saw him on Chocolate Island? I can't think of the name of it, but you know which one I'm talking about. The first island they got to. Somebody saw him there, and then when, like, he was helping them out places, he gave us that information that he's been here. And I know, like, throughout Whole Cake Island, we get more bits and pieces of, like, what Pedro went through while he was here. Alrighty, what else did I put here? Oh, okay, so then we get to Capone. And essentially, it's like we're just talking about how. Oh, hold on. So, Baron Tomago was saying, like, okay, now he needs to find Peckham's because he was going to go with him to Mama to, like, beg for her forgiveness. And the next scene essentially is Capone with his little family with Chiffon and, and their little baby Pez. And it's got this little sucker that's essentially like a cigar. And, like, of course, like, no matter how tough, like, a dad is or whatever, when he sees his baby, he has to make a stupid face. But you see Capone, and then you see Peckham's, and he's, like, all tied up. And I'm curious, so it must have been, like, they are the ones who took, so I don't remember, if, and I don't know if it was ever stated if Peckham's escaped, and then he got caught, or he essentially got caught right then and there. But he's tied up, and essentially, like, he's like, I gave you a chance, and, like, you weren't a man, essentially, with the whole, wanting to let Sanji and them leave because they saved his entire home family, and his home and his family. And so he said, and I think it's really interesting because he says, you underestimate Mama. And it's so true. Like, I think it's something that all of the new generation have a thing with. They're underestimating the Yonko. Like, they're this high for a reason, and you're not giving them the kudos, I guess, that they really deserve. So we see him just get shot, and he goes right over the falls into the water with all the sharks and stuff like that. And it was interesting because I couldn't remember. I was thinking, I was like, so wait, is he shot? Like, is it maybe he just hits the chains that are wrapped around it? But, like, they show the blood spurting everywhere. So I'm like, he's shot. He is shot for sure. And then we go and we see that Luffy is still running around the seducing woods, catching copycats of all, like, the dudes and stuff like that. And then we get to essentially, like, the big part of the episode, which is Big Mom. So essentially, Big Mom has been the one who's been bankrolling Caesar's project, like this gigantification project, the entire time. And she's like, okay, so, like, where's my product? Because she has a goal. She wants she wants to have her country to be filled with people from every single race. And she wants them all to eat at the table with her at the same eye length. She doesn't want to be Big Mom anymore. She wants to be regular mom with her, or, like, Big Mom with big children and everybody. She wants everyone to be at her same eye length. And that's where the whole gigantification process goes to. So she's been bankrolling Caesar for years. And in his head, well, he has Doflamingo, Joker, who's been protecting him and keeping him and taking care of him. So he was blowing his money on booze, on ladies. You probably can't see it, but that's, like, I wonder if I can. Right back there. That's essentially what he was doing, having his fun time with Big Mom's money, because he's like, he thought he had that protection. And then the Straw Hats and my other bae, Trafalgar Law, come along and just ruin his whole plan. And then they destroy his factory, and they take out Doflamingo. So it's funny because he's like, he starts groveling. Well, no, he's going through this whole montage in his head, and then she's like, you're making all these facial expressions, like, speak. He starts groveling, saying, like, he couldn't, like, he was so close, but they, the Straw Hats in law, they destroyed all the stuff, so he can't do it anymore. And Mom is just like, oh, that's fine, I built you one. It's like, what did you mean? She said she's had the designs for years, and she had the Minister of Candy go and build a complete replica. So now you've got 2 weeks to make everyone gigantic. Meanwhile, he was just trying it on kids, and he got, I'm not saying he didn't get anywhere. There were some giant kids. But it's not like, it's like, what children are one thing, it's like fully formed adults, that's a whole different thing. And now he's essentially like, so I'm going to die in 2 weeks. That's what this is. I am going to die. And yeah, and then so that's where I think we're first time we're introduced to the Charlotte Perospero, Minister of Candy. And he's a little freak, I'm going to say that. He gonna tell this man, like, he's gonna make a candy man out of him and lick him. That's some freaky stuff right there. It's just my opinion. Someone says I'm gonna make a candy, like we're not gonna get into that, but I was just thinking in my head like, oh, he's a little freak. Okay. And I have a weird thing with this. I do not care for characters who have their tongues out. Like him, I cannot think of the dude's name, but the one from Shabondi who got like on the second half, who oh, gosh, you guys know which one I'm talking about. He was all slimy. He had a brother. They were joining along with the fake straw hats. His tongue was always out, and he's the one who got on the ship. I couldn't stand him for the life of me. I just don't like when their tongues are out. That just bothers me for some reason. Yeah. So yeah, you got 2 weeks to do this, and then the episode ends with Luffy still running around catching a bunch of copycat animals and whatnot. I feel like after I've talked about it, I enjoyed it a lot more because it was a good chapter. It's just personal stuff that was kind of like, ugh. But I liked it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about the anime episode. I don't typically talk about like quality and stuff like that because for the most part, if nothing's like completely obvious, it doesn't really bother me. I do know. Just one time, I was watching it with my little cousin, and she was like, "Why aren't the people moving when they do like just the still shots?" And it was like it was a super padded episode. But for the most part, like I don't notice stuff like that, so I enjoy it. But like I said, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this chapter. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys on Thursday for my live reaction and my review of the manga chapter. All right, great, thanks, bye.